Guys who gave the crazy girl a chance. What happened? We got married, had a kid, and moved houses. She self-medicated with marijuana for her anxiety, then attacked me and a friend using a razor blade. We divorced, I got custody, she moved away, and she got married again. She moved back with husband, sued me for custody, got custody, tried homeschooling, and then attacked new husband one night. They got divorced, I got custody back, then she kidnapped both kids and drove to Mexico, and was later arrested coming back across the border. Tada! One of my best friends took a chance on a crazy girl 23 years ago. They've been married for 22 years now, and he discovered the amazing side effect of marrying crazy. She keeps his irritating mother away from him at all times. I did everything I could to help her get on her feet. When I met her, she slept all day, had no hobbies, was always grouchy, but we connected and I was happy with her. 7 years, lots of money, therapy, encouragement, pep talks, the whole 9 yards. She's hanging out with friends again, working a better job, and is active in her interest hobbies. Then she cheated on me. I used to think I was once the crazy girl, high school, early college, undiagnosed ad, and depression. This thread makes me feel like the sanest person who has ever lived. She got the help she needed and sorted herself out. 14 years later we have 2 kids. She taped my hair to her fucking wall underneath a shrine of me. It was the most attractive thing I've ever seen, and I shame myself for thinking that every day. We fought constantly, often insanely. We got into a screaming match one night and she stormed out. She went straight to this other dude's place and they partied and she took some bad LSD and never recovered. She's been in a mental health facility since 1998 and can barely talk now. My buddy let his crazy ex back in. He refused to supply her with oxys, so she went even crazier and bashed her own head against the wall, got him arrested, and absolutely trashed his place while he was in custody. Charges were eventually dropped against him, but she caused thousands of dollars in damage, plus months of legal fees. Because it was a domestic violence charge, he wasn't even allowed back into his own apartment while fighting the charges due to the automatic restraining order, so she got to live in his place for free while he had to rent a second apartment. The landlord doesn't even live in Canada or speak English, so he was no help. In the end he prevailed and got his place back, and she faced 0 consequences other than a 3-day mental health checkup. Don't stick your dick in crazy. She ate all my weed and smoked all my food. Lock your doors, people. Not me, but a buddy of mine. He dated her for 3 years and, during that time, completely turned her life around. Therapy, job, started community college, a medication that finally started working, whole 9 yards. Her life was going great, and we as friends actually started to enjoy being around her after 2.5 years of dreading every moment of it. After 3 years of him supporting her and encouraging her to get her life on track and dealing with her bullshit, she left him for some trust fund baby who could better provide for her. My buddy ran into her a couple years ago, and while it didn't work out between her and trust fund, she still has her life on the right track. So since she is pretty alright when she is doing well, I'm happy for her. But since she was so shallow that she left my friends so easily after everything for someone with dada's money, fuck her. She rode my dick like she was riding a mechanical bull and sucked me off in an IKEA showroom and broke my TV the same day. Worth it. The sex is not worth the mental abuse. Run. Reading some of these replies has me thinking that maybe I'm not actually the crazy one. We were together for over a year, lived together, crazy in love at first, then red flags. Possessive. Explosive anger. Lies. The worst and weirdest was she would fake a full-body seizure every time she was confronted with something she didn't like or want to accept. Having an argumentum seizure. It was terrifying and at first, I fell for it. But her story fell apart, especially when I talked to her sister, who was like, WTF, she has never had a seizure. Even then, I ignored it and one day she abruptly left me. And yes, sex was incredible. I went back 3 years later only for the craziness to be far worse. Do not recommend. Conned me into marrying her, lost my own identity and sense of self, psychological abuse, manipulation, some of the best sex ever. Physical abuse, 2 broken noses, 3 chipped teeth, got cheated on, she left, divorce, spent years trying to figure out who I am, PTSD, decade later, still can't sleep, 0-10, do not advise. Mental breakdown after mental breakdown. The sex was good though. She killed my dog and took a shit in the trunk of my car. She cut my name in her wrist and then dumped me on Valentine's Day. Damn, my teen years were crazy. Dated a girl with BPD. She was nothing but kind to me, but rejection hit her really hard whenever she faced it. We quickly formed a deep emotional bond and had a great time together. I ended up breaking up with her because of her drug habit, which landed her in jail several times, but I don't regret dating her because of her condition.